the oasis of remembrance, in the shadowed heart of Tokyo, where glass and steel clawed at the sky, there stood a building unlike the others. Its walls, though modern, were veined with weathered wooden beams, and atop its roof sprawled a garden, a riot of green that defied the city's concrete pulse. This was Ed's sanctuary, a secret whispered between skyscrapers. Ed had designed the building himself, a fusion of minimalist, Tokyo steel and the soul of his childhood home, a village clinging to the edge of South Sumatra's jungle. The garden was his compass, its soil packed with memories. Rambutan trees, their branches heavy with crimson fruit, stood beside Japanese maple saplings. Wild jasmine tangled with orderly rows of bonsai, and a small koi pond mirrored the tea-colored rivers of his youth. 20 years ago, Ed had arrived in Tokyo with a single suitcase and a photograph. The photo showed his mother kneeling in their village garden, her hands caked in earth, grinning beside a lemongrass stalk. Their home had been a patchwork of wooden stilts and corrugated tin, nestled where the jungle's breath still steamed the air. His father, a fisherman turned farmer after the rivers silted, had taught him to read the land's whispers, how to coax life from stubborn soil, how to listen when the trees groaned with coming rain. One evening, as rain drummed the glass walls, Ed knelt in the garden, pruning a beetle leaf plant. The scent, earthy sharp, hurled him back. He was 12 again, watching his father hack through jungle undergrowth, machete glinting. "The land remembers," his father had said, pressing a hand to a rubber tree's scarred bark, "even when we forget." Now Tokyo's neon glow filtered through banana leaves, casting blue shadows. Ed's fingers brushed a moss-covered stone, placed precisely to mimic the river rocks of his village. Somewhere below, trains screeched. Here, cicadas hummed in heated terrariums. Critics called the building a paradox, a relic stubbornly alive in a city obsessed with the new. Ed didn't mind. The garden thrived, its borders creeping outward each year. Vines swallowed fire escapes. Ferns burst from rooftop cracks. When developers offered him billions to replace it with a parking lot, Ed refused. Instead, he opened the garden to children, teaching them to plant tamarind seeds in milk cartons. "Why do you keep this here?" a girl once asked, clutching a seedling. Ed smiled. "Same reason you keep a diary, to remember where you're from." In the end, the skyscrapers leaned closer, as if eavesdropping, but Ed's garden grew wilder, defiant, a tattoo of green on Tokyo's silver skin. At night, when the city's lights blinked like sterile stars, he'd sit beneath the rambutan tree, listening to the rustle of leaves that sounded almost like his mother's laughter, almost like the Sumatran wind. The jungle was gone, the village a ghost, but here, in this improbable Eden, Ed had rooted his story deep.